I'm learning how to make sourdough at home after years of telling myself I didn't have the time. I want to enjoy bread more often by making it myself. I'm not an expert, this is me figuring it out as I go, showing what works, what doesn't, and what I've been learning along the way. This is the year I finally make sourdough from scratch. To get my sourdough starter started tonight, because I'm using a dried starter, it shouldn't take as long to be activated as like building up a normal starter from scratch. So looking at the instructions, I need to mix it. It says cover, leave overnight, feed again in the morning, leave for a further 4 hours, and then it should be ready to potentially be used. But the previous step can be done again to increase it up. So I'll mix up and leave it up tonight. Obviously see what it's like in the morning, do the next feed, and then potentially might be able to start off a next loaf, a first loaf tomorrow. My jar. So this is a Wild Farm, just white bread flour. They do regenerative farming, so them and Matthew's Cotswold flour do regenerative flours, so I'd recommend those potentially if you can find them. There we go, that's 50 grams. Oh no. Yeah, there we go, that's 50 grams. So next is going to be adding in my sourdough starter. So I'm literally just going to open it and tip it in. Oh! It's a packet within a packet. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. So that's on. Make sure I don't lose any. There we go. Okay. Take 2. So I'm gonna add that into there as well. And then it said to add 120 grams of water. It did have a note on here saying that yeast doesn't like, and sourdough bacteria doesn't like high levels of chlorine. So it recommends using cold tap water in a jug that you've left overnight for the chlorine to evaporate out. I have a water jug in the fridge, so it's kind of sat equivalent overnight time. So I've just used that and kind of had it sitting out on the counter, so it's not as cold as it would be straight from the fridge. And pop that in, and then I'm going to use my long spatula. Give that a stir. So it described it needing to be like consistency of a thick waffle batter. I'd say that's like thick waffle batter. Don't think there's any dry bits of flour left in there. So I think that will be ready to leave. That till the morning, so it's overnight. My kitchen can be a bit drafty, so I'm going to leave it in the toaster, see what it's like in the morning, see if I maybe need to move it around for its second 4 hours, see if it needs slightly different temperatures. So I will see you in the morning. Now I need to do the next feed. It says it it says it should sit for 4 hours at least. Well, it says 4 hours exactly on the instructions before it's then potentially ready to use or to refeed it. I'm probably going to be out for more than 4 hours. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like if it goes slightly longer. And then I can potentially start a loaf tonight or potentially tomorrow. It's sitting to come back up to temperature because it's my filtered water from the fridge. And then I've weighed out my flour for ease. The flour in first. And then add in the water. I think I'm definitely going to be longer than that. So what I might do is utilise the little band and maybe see if it doubles or how it grows. So, I got that on. So that roughly looks like it's sitting at the top of it, maybe. Roughly somewhere around there. So we'll come back and see what it looks like later. There we go, some bubbles in it. Doesn't look as active as I was expecting, so I'm going to feed it one more time and see how it does, and potentially then try and make a loaf with that. It does seem thicker, but I think I'm going to feed it one more time. Make sure I get it all in. Definitely feeling thicker. So I think I'll give a go at making a loaf once this is sat for 4 hours. So I'll cover that for another 4 hours. I might try and move it to somewhere else in the kitchen to see if that helps as well. And then I will start a loaf off tonight. I did leave it 48 hours and it has got a lot more bubbly. If I get that to focus. So I'm going to try and make a loaf of sourdough. So I will leave that for the next video. So subscribe and you'll catch that hopefully in about a week's time.